Well, hello there. Are you ready for spring? 'Cause spring is here. Hi there, and welcome to Knit Sense. My name is Jan, and you can find me as Janelinrn on Ravelry and also on Instagram. So I hope you'll follow me there. Oh, got that out of the way. It only took me 4 tries. I'm off to a rip-roaring start today, folks. I am. It started when I tried to straighten out, the hair. We've got it a little bit under control, but I'm afraid I lost some of it when it got sucked into the back end of the hair dryer. I didn't even know that could happen, so I had to yank it out of the hair dryer. The brush got stuck, and it all came to a crashing halt when I hit myself in my mouth with the hairbrush. So that was the end of that. So this is as good as it's gonna get. Anyway, if you are new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you, and to everyone returning, you have no idea how much I appreciate you following me and joining in my journey and being a faithful follower of my podcast. Okay, so let's jump in. I actually wrote notes today. That's how discombobulated I am, that I actually wrote notes. So there is precious little knitting going on. Okay, I don't think I've knit maybe a quarter of a sock since the last, actually, I don't know, maybe you can tell me when I show you the progress or lack thereof that I've done in my sock. That's it. That's all I have done. So I have some knitting, a big question, and I have been I have been embracing spring. Now, those of you who know me know I am a winter person. I love the cold weather. I love the snow. I am a winter person. I love fall and I love winter. I never even I get it with spring and the flowers coming up and all that, but it was never really a season I embraced, and summer I just complained about. It's too hot. But this year, all of a sudden, I am just feeling spring. So I'm going to share with you some of what's been going on to bring in the spring. A lot of it has to do with fragrance, and you know that I am a fragrance fan. So we're going to have kind of a bit of fragrance in this video. And a little bit of knitting too. So let's jump in. I've blathered on enough, so let's jump in. Okay, my socks. Okay, I've got everything on the floor here, so, and I'm set up in this really kludgy little setting. I have a little spot carved out for myself that I have just reclaimed, which is why I'm not upstairs in the mess. Okay, so, but the limitation is we're all squished up. We're all squinged up here. So yeah, my stuff is kind of laying on the floor, which is okay. Anyway, my Desert Vista Dye Works Sock Club, the annual, I think this is the 7th annual. I will link the website below, but it's actually all you have to do is knit a pair of socks each month using Desert Vista Dye Works yarn. You don't have to buy new. If you have some in your stash, great. That's what I've been doing, although I did get another color and I forgot to bring it down. So I'll show that in the next podcast. Probably going to be my April socks, assuming I ever get through with my March socks. So here's where I'm at. It is what, the 22nd of March. I have, I don't know, you do the math, how many days to finish this sock and another sock, because I'm still woefully on the first sock. Anyway, here is my sock. The colorway I'm using is called Somebody's Going to Rhinebeck, and I mentioned in my last video, actually I'm not sure if I had cast it on in my last video. I don't think I did. So look, I made progress. Okay, Yeah, it's lame today. So I knew I didn't want to do a plain vanilla sock again, but I really didn't have the mindset to do anything too fancy or complicated. So I dug up and found a pattern that I had and never did, which is by Susan Anderson, and it's called Smooth Operator Socks. And it's not so much that it's a pattern sock, it's more of a technique based sock pattern. And that's the one that I really kind of learned some tricks doing this sock. It's cast on. I chose to use the 2 circular method. So I cast on, I did 2x2 ribbing, and then basically went into the cuff. And Susan tells you basically in the pattern how to determine the length of the cuff. And this sock is actually an afterthought heel sock, which I have done before. But the difference in this sock is that you do the heel before you've actually finished the sock. Okay, so you put in the waste yarn, and Susan has you put in extra rows of waste yarn instead of just knitting across that one row and then going back and knitting with the color. And there's a very good reason for that. It actually gives you more space on the sides to pick up in the gap. So I did that, and then she has you knit a few inches past the heel, and then you do the pickup and you knit on the heel, but you're knitting it from the inside of the ball so that your yarn stays attached and you're actually using separate colors. And I have to say, I was really, really pleased. The other thing she had was several ways, and I'm going to try to see if I can zoom in close, of doing the decreases, as opposed to the way you would normally do the decreases on a toe, which is, you know, knit 1, slip, knit, knit to the end, knit 2 together, knit 1. This was a different way to decrease, and I really, really like it. And as you can see, the way she has you pick up, the gap here is really small, and I can see it more on the other side. Let me see if I can spread that out a little bit so you can see it. But I think that was more my user error. It is a different technique, and there actually is a video that shows you how to pick up and avoid having that gap, and I think I just, honestly, I think I did it wrong. So that's how far I got. I finished the heel, and then essentially you just pick up and knit down to the foot, and again she tells you, according to the size sock you make, how far to knit, and I think I'm almost at the toe with this one. You measure from the back of the heel to the end of your knitting, just under the knitting needle, to determine when you begin your toe. And I think I'm just going to do the standard old toe. I'm not going to try to get fancy with that. And I love this colorway. I have to say, I really do love the colorway. So that's how far I got with my socks. I have a few days left to do this all over again on another sock. And then, because I forgot to bring it down, I will have to show in the next podcast what my April socks are going to be. And they're going to be special. So yeah, that's that. Now on to my next saga. I had shown this sweater. It is called Kuffel, and my besties and my local yarn store were all knitting in a knit along on this sweater, and we had Monday night Zooms, so it was really kind of a nice group type thing. Here's my problem. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. And I don't know, and I've heard a lot of people had issues, you know, even though they got gauged with the fit. I don't want to say the sizing of it, but with the fit of the sweater. So my first problem, and I know I cannot live with it, and I mentioned it the last time, is the neck. It calls for a tubular cast on. It calls for a provisional tubular cast on. I've done tubular cast on before tubular cast-ons before and they were perfect. This one, I don't like it. And this time I'm gonna show a close-up of what happened here and why this one, you see that bump on the top? A tubular cast-on is supposed to look like the ribbing goes right over the top. It's supposed to be a very smooth cast-on or bind-off. And in this case, it's not. I have this thingy on the top that will bug me forever. And so I have to rip it out because this, to me, I don't care for it. One of the other problems is the size of the neck. Now I had asked a friend of mine, she suggested casting on for the neck size smaller and then increasing, which will take the neck in a little bit, and then increasing to the size I'm doing on the plain knit row. I could do that. But a lot of the problems come in also with the sleeves. I just, as much as this part of the sweater, forget the neck, this part of the sweater was really enjoyable to knit, I've seen a lot of problems coming on down the pike with other parts of the sweater that weren't so easy, that were difficult to line up, that didn't fit quite well. So yeah, that's my dilemma. So leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I mean, I'm of the mindset if you don't love it, don't knit it. But again, I did enjoy really the color work part, but I'm not far enough along where I'm gonna have a problem just frogging this out, and even maybe casting it on sometime when I have more brain power to it, or see more people and how they managed, what other people did to make the sweater fit better, what modifications they made. So, but I don't want to leave it on the needles because then it becomes a whip and it gets stuck up in that mess. We won't even go there with what's in the tubbies in the attic. And I want my toys back. So leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. If I should, if I should finish it or frog it. Okay. I have two things coming up. One is a Lola's Choice kit, which I think I got after I recorded last time. And this is really interesting. This is actually not knitting. It can be, but it's not knitting. This is Luceta. Okay. It doesn't show the pattern, but I will insert a picture of what it looks like here. And this is creating a lariat using a Luceta, which looks like this. This is a mini one. So Laura had these made in a mini size by Katrinkles, and she has, with the pattern, an excellent video on how to create a cord using a Luceta. I have not started the full-on pattern yet, but I did start because I've never used a Luceta before. So I did use some scrap yarn and practiced, and it is actually a really, really fun technique. And I love the fact that it's very similar to I-cord, but in I-cord, sometimes you can get those loosey-goosey stitches like on the edges of it, or you can almost see in the back where it opens up a little bit. Not on this cord using the Luceta. It is totally a four-sided square cord, and I'm not sure if you can just tell from the piece that I did here, but see right here, you can see where it twists. You can do that with different ways of making the stitch using the Luceta. You can make it straight or you can make it twist. So that was a really fun technique to learn. I just did it using some scrap sock yarn, I think, for my last pair of socks. But I think once I rip that sweater out, which y'all gonna tell me in the comments below what I should do with that sweater, I'm going to Luceta this up. because I think that would be a nice, fun little palette cleanser. And the other thing, and I know I did show this in my last video, so I'm not going to go too far into this, is the Platy shawl. I will insert a picture here. And if I rip out the sweater, I think this is going to go on the needles next, because it looks like a fairly simple, kind of mindless knit that I could definitely get into right now. So folks, that's it for the knitting. There is one knitting topic, however, that I did want to talk about, because it is something that is so important to me, and I know that it has just grown and grown and grown. I don't know if you have heard about it yet, but Laura Nelkin had this idea of knitting for food, and how we could use our knitting skills, or our knitting habit, all right, let's put it on out there, our knitting habits, to raise money for food. So what she's come up with is a knitathon. It's going to be on April 11th of this year, obviously, and we are raising money for 4 organizations to help feed people who are feeling food insecurity. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic and the economic fallout and literally all of the results of 2020 and 2021, a lot of people are going hungry. And Laura had the idea of helping these 4 organizations, and I will tell you what they are. They are Feeding America, World Central Kitchen, No Kid Hungry, and Meals on Wheels. And the money will be equally, the money that's raised will be equally divided among those 4 organizations. All the money donated is going directly to those 4 organizations. So on April 11th, we will be knitting from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And Laura has come up with some ideas of how to keep us entertained, how to keep us interested, how to keep us connected while we're knitting the 12 hours. So I just wanted to put that out there. If anybody is interested in joining the Knitathon, I will put the link below. If not, if you are able to donate and sponsor me, because I am participating in the knit along, I will also put a link below if it's something that you are able to or would like to contribute to. I will put the link below for you to donate, and you can just click on that in the down bar below and support those 4 wonderful organizations, because the money is really needed right now, and so is the food. And just so you know, I think Laura originally set her goal at $50,000. I don't know if she started at 10 and it went to 50, and then she raised the goal, and we have exceeded that goal, which is over $100,000 already raised for those 4 wonderful organizations. So that information I really wanted to get out, because it is a very timely and very important effort at this point in time. So that's all the knitting related stuff. So back to spring. I have been on a spring kick, but I will admit, not spring cleaning, okay? Definitely not spring cleaning. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was Scentsy, the fragrance of March, which is Pink Sugarberry Mint. I know I talked about this in my last video, so I won't go too far into it other than to say it is absolutely delicious. I love this one. It is fresh, and I think I wouldn't say mint like mint in your face, like peppermints. It's not like that. The mint actually gives it this fresh, I smell like a sugary, fruity, fresh vibe. So this one is actually, I think, will take you right through the spring, summer. Again, this is the March fragrance of the month. It is on sale. The bars are, I think, $5.40. Let's just open this up. $5.40. The room spray, which I have here, is $7.20. This is a really nice one for the room spray. It is a true room freshener, and the Scentsy room sprays do not smell like the the ones you buy in the store that smell like their room freshener trying to cover something up. That's not what this is. These actually smell very true to the scent that they represent. So, and those are $7.20 if I didn't say that. And I also want to just show you again, this is the warmer of the month. How cute is he? And I will insert a picture of it here so that you can see it lit up. It is called Birds of a Feather, and those will be available. That's on sale for $45 until the end of March 31st. Now, April 1st, out comes a new warmer. And all I can say is I've got mine already, and as I had mentioned in the last video, I have to kind of pick and choose which warmer of the month I'm going to actually order because I have so many. If you could look at what I'm looking at, it's boxes of warmers sitting in front of me. All over here, warmers everywhere. So there's only just so many that I have room to store. So I have to be a little picky and choosy. I grabbed this one. So I'm actually going to tease you, and I'm going to put a little picture right in here of what's coming up April 1st. It's beautiful. I do have it. I'm going to wait to show it maybe next week. I'll show it to you in person. If you are interested in it, I have a sneaking suspicion this one is definitely not going to last too long. So if it's one that you're interested in, you can reach out to me. I will put my email address below. You can also, I will put, if you're interested in pre-ordering it, just send me an email and I will get in touch with you and let you know how to do that. So that is basically all I have for this episode. I am hoping to have a finished pair of socks, because if not, I will be knocked out of the sock club in March. I won't even have made the first 3 months. So I hope everyone is doing well. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified of all future uploads. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you'd like to see in upcoming videos. And please remember, if you are able to donate, the information will be in the description box below. Every penny, every dollar, every penny is greatly appreciated. There are so many people that are going hungry, that are feeling food insecure, and really could use your help. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye. Lordy, I think half of it got cut out. Is it recording? I can't see. Oh, I'm sliding downhill here. What is going on? Whoa. Okay. Okay. We're off to a rip-roaring start.